right. Hi there. So welcome to another yin session. So this session is going to be truly a yin session. And what we're going to do today is do a yin session for posture. But remember, that doesn't just mean opening up the front, aligning the spine. That actually means also creating flexibility and mobility in the spine and in the hips. For example, this morning, this is a great reminder for me personally, and hopefully for you too. This morning I woke up and my SI joint, my sacroiliac joint right here is tight. And I've got to loosen that up. All the muscles around it are kind of tightening up in the lower back and the sides of my backs. So my gait when I was walking was really short because I didn't have that full flexibility to put the right leg forward as far as it will go. And then the left foot, my hip just wasn't working. It's still not working with me this morning. So that is a lesson for posture for me this morning. It's not just up here, in the core, and it's also the hips. And if you've been following the challenge that we've been doing, then you're very familiar with, we've been talking about the Uddiyana Bandha, the foundation of the feet. It's a really great reminder and lesson on how to keep that posture. But now we're going to kind of let go of the posture in order to create that mobility and flexibility to sustain proper posture. And so with that said, let's get started. And I'm keeping the time here. Don't worry, I'm not checking my emails. And because I like our yin classes to be shorter, but keep in mind you can always fast forward, pause if you want to do it for longer, rewind if you want to do it again. So this is your practice. Today we're starting in child's pose. Big toes together, knees open. If you need something underneath your knees or behind your knees, put it there. Let's get into this posture. We're going to do a few different variations of it. So walk the hands out, create a very passive child's pose, which means you're just going to let go and not reach, just relax. And we're going to hold for time on all these postures today. Take a few deep breaths in. Hi, dear. Remind yourself, you guys, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. All right, let that to-do list go. I promise it'll be there when you get back. And you're just going to take a few minutes for yourself to help open yourself up, to help allow the energy lines to flow freely, unkink, stretch a little bit of the muscle, and realign a lot of the fascia. Feel free to take the chin or the forehead to the mat. Continue to focus on your breath. If you feel tension anywhere, imagine your breath going to that spot. And then imagine your breath massaging that spot. Exhale, release. Five more breaths here. On an inhale, bring the arms in, slowly rise. Transfer your weight forward out of your hips. Bring the knees underneath your hips. There we go. So now we're coming into tabletop, and you're just going to swish the hips around from right to left for a few breaths. If you feel like you need to go in a circle, go in a circle. Just do what your body's telling you to do. Create some action. We're going to go right back into passivity. I'm moaning a lot today, y'all. I'm tight. And it's okay to moan. All right, moving straight into melting heart. This is a posture that we are going to do a couple different variations in. So notice your knees are aligned over your hips. Walk the arms out. You can always place a pillow or something underneath the chest. And then just relax into this. Now, this is a tough one, especially if you have tight shoulders. So if you have tight shoulders, maybe you want to bring the arms in a little bit, maybe scoop the hips back. Bring the arms farther out to the side. If you have tight shoulders, lots of variations. Let's stay here for a little bit together. Now I want you to jump right into this if your shoulders are ready to go and come into prayer, namaste behind the head. Forehead or chin on the ground. Just make sure nothing is being forced. When you're comfortably uncomfortable with ease. Does that even make sense? Continue those deep, nourishing breaths. Scan the body, see if anything's super tight. If it is, try to release it and let go. And if you can't, then you need to come out of this a little bit. Like right now, I'm noticing my right quad is tight. I'm trying to relax that. Just breathe through it. All right, a couple more breaths here, you guys. Then we're going to inhale, lift up. Thread the right arm underneath and just gently rotate and lay on the right shoulder. Inhale to come up, switch sides, left, or your right arm reaches out. Hello, I'm not mirroring you guys today. And lay on the left shoulder, small rotation. Hello. We're not here long. Again, if you love in this pose and your body's feeling it, stay here a little bit longer. Yeah, let your body weight fall onto that shoulder. Two more deep breaths. All right, right arm pulls in, helps you up, press the hips back, and stay here for just a moment. We'll take the elbows to the mat, move the wrist around. We're moving into downward facing dog. Oh, yes. Come back into tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips high. Now try to use the core muscles, not so much the back muscles, to find your downward facing dog. Now for downward facing dog, you're gonna bend your knees for this one. Take your belly to your upper thighs. Oh yes, and just breathe here. So we're focusing on lengthening the spine, not so much pushing and straightening the legs. Not at all, actually, that. Now, if you'd like to start to straighten the legs a little bit, go for it. Find a spot that you can gently gaze at. 4 more breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bingo. Now roll out the back, float forward into plank, and hit up the knees. Come all the way down to your belly, my friends. Forehead to forearms. Feet are comfortably apart, legs are comfortably apart. And take a few moments to breathe here with your forehead on your forearms. I already said that. Imagine your breath running the length of your body, stopping at any tight points. Take your attention to those tight points. Sometimes all we need to do to alleviate a situation is just take certain attention and intention to that area. So if you're feeling anything super tight, set your intention for the remainder of your practice to loosen that up. But I don't want you to dwell on it the entire practice. Once you've set your intention, let it go. It's there. It's staying with you. We're going to move into Sphinx. If you're comfortably uncomfortable where you are, stay right here. Otherwise, slowly lift up. Ooh la la. And elbows are underneath your shoulders. Now notice I'm not engaging the glutes and holding up. I'm actually letting go. So let the belly release. Now if you've done yin with me before, then you have the option to go a little higher. I know some of you guys like to even start out here. The farther away the chest is from the ground, the more intense it is. You've got to remember to relax the butt muscles. I personally stay right here. We will stay here together for 2 minutes. If you start to feel any lightening in the body, in the lower back, that's your body saying, hey, it's time to come out. Your chin can lift or stay tucked. Really try to release the abdominal muscles. Let the breath help you find depth in this posture. Exhale slowly. Three to 5 more breaths. Now to come out of this, very slowly, roll the spine down, belly onto the mat, elbows out in front of the shoulders, and let's end where we began. Maybe move the hips around a little bit. Settling back onto the hips, draw the right leg out and up. Oh, yes. Oh. I don't know about you, but I could stay here forever, but we need to move on. I'm very excited about this next pose. Hey guys, it's nothing creative. It's nothing grand, but it is super, super effective. So I need you to come up very slowly, come to a seat. And then we're moving into a wide butterfly. Oh, yes. Before we do that, guys, though, take the feet out a little bit and try to get the ankles underneath the knees. So we're more in a toad pose here. I just want you to sway side to side. Feeling the hips, the sacrum loosen up, the spine. You can take the shoulders to the right and the left, working on that spine mobility. So we have a couple more minutes left in our practice, and I will tell you that this is a great pose, but also a rotation into this butterfly will be helpful as well. So let's start there. If we run a few minutes late, then you can just tell your boss, I was doing yoga, sorry. All right, so feet are about a fist width apart. Sometimes I like to take a block and put it in between my feet, but we're gonna start with that rotation, and this is a very gentle rotation. Draw long through the spine, relax the hip points back. Right arm is over the left thigh. If you went the other way, that's all right. And we're just gonna hold here for a few breaths. Now again, because the legs are out wide, please don't force this. It is so gentle. You're gonna be like, am I doing anything? Yes, you are. And let's slowly move to the other side. And coming back to center and lengthening through the spine, drawing the hip points back, round out. Oh yes. Drop the head. A 2-minute stay right here. Arms coming to the side, inside, wherever you want. If you've been practicing in for a while, you may feel that you need upwards to 10 minutes in this pose, and that's okay. Reset your attention on your breath or any of those tight parts of your body that you noticed earlier. Three more breaths. Inhale to rise, press the hands down. Very nice. Straighten the legs out in front. That's it. Move the ankles around. Remember, ankles and feet are part of the posture. Our posture as well when we walk, we stand. All right. So go ahead and bring both legs in. We're going to just do a nice big side bend to one side. A few breaths here. Good. Remember, the opposite hip is pressing into the ground. You're trying to gently spiral the bottom of the rib cage up. And other side. Oh, yes. Inhale to rise. Oh, move around any way you want, you guys. Move the head around. Just move organically. And then take your hands to heart center. First of all, give yourself gratitude for taking the time to do this this practice with me today. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. If you have any questions, I'm always here for you. I'm just an email or a comment away. So have a wonderful day. Make the best of your day. Make sure that you lead the day. Don't let the day lead you. Namaste. Bye.